Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you are having a fantastic day. Let's see, what is today? Today's Monday. Heck, hopefully you had a good weekend too. Let's see. So today, as you can clearly see, we are playing a Paladin. Leveling up Paladin protection, clearly, because you know what we do. We tank here. Anyway, so what, we're at level 24. That's for sure. Been a long down cold. Let's see, today's the 20th, so we still got a little bit of time before the next month's. Well, let's see, do they told us what next month is? Let's see, June, July, August. Um, wow, Traders, Trading Post 2026. Mm. So next month is Showdown, Wild West inspired poncho and Lawbringer style transmog sets. Hot darn it. Let's see. August. Let's see. Well, that looks okay. The gun looks dope. Definitely getting the gun. Ew, I'm looking at October's. Come on, y'all. Oh yeah, those are shaving months. What time? No matter the haste. In the falls. No remorse. The only part about any of the Lawbringer sets is the hat that I like. I like nothing else of these transmogs, the ponchos, none of it. The hat is where it's at. Oh, spurred boots too. No matter the haste. Hmm. Okay. And we want more. No remorse. Ravager. Stack of shots on point. No matter the haste. In the falls. No remorse. Ravager. No, no, no remorse. Let's see. Sealed in his hand. Like it's open ground. He takes on here. He takes the blow, then asks for more. In his eyes, there's a sea. He'll turn. Killing us on the line. Let's do it. Okay. Nobody's following. The young ones fade. He takes the blow, then asks for more. In his eyes. This way, right? I think so. You carry a song. The long road home, feeling us on the line, on the line, feeling us like what's mine, take what's mine. On the line. You carry a song. Well, should run through there, but steal the gate. Judge is here and the death is laid. Look me in the eye. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Let me take your song. Let's take your song. Lola on patrol. Oh, he's big. Nobody's trying to get the orbs. Rattle. Hear that crowd hush. And I must take your song. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Feel it in your bones. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Lock the whole town down. Mhm. A trank shot would be real nice. Down along. Lay it down. Let me mess this one. Lay it down. think we're gonna take this one. Is actually looks really nice. We are gonna go with the ability where when you use your word of glory on other people, you also get a heal as well. Real cool. Um, Good night. I'm curious. I just want to know. Lola stay. Let's get out of standing in stupid. I'd have my again. The mud at the blood held up high. This is shaman with the blood in his eye. Gonna let go wild. Perfume style. Right when they say my name, that will glow. But when the swamp winds blow, I don't run out. Let the whole world know. Mud Mafia, yeah. Mud Mafia, yeah. Give a mud online, good head mafia, yeah. Oh, that beast. Shake it over. When the swamp winds blow, I don't run out. Let the whole world know. Mud Mafia, yeah. Mud Mafia, yeah. Yeah, mud on the line, mud Mafia, yeah. I don't really need this, but we're gonna take it anyway. Mud Mafia, yeah. Get the mud on the line, mud Mafia, yeah. See, we do that and we get a little heal ourselves. and JPS and a Philpa group. Salve, hammer down. Righteous fury, salve me. Let us breathe. Salve me, stop but pulling. Let us breathe. You bring the sanity, righteous fury, salve me. Hammer down, save the team. Hey. Mm-hmm. What? Hmm. Shaman tank. Hold the line, hold it. Let's see. sure is. Let's see. All right. So we got that. We're going to. Oh, that's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pum, 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 pum. Now, what weapon would look cool? Oh, two-handed mace. One of my favorite ones. Mm. Silver hand. Gillimus. Gillimus. Off meta. Off meta. Gillimus. I make it work better. When can I go to Shadowlands? I don't slide. Oh, I stay wide. Steady shot. Never off. Top of the door, yeah, we top that line. Steady shot. Never off. I'm talking all the we top that line. Steady shot. Never off. Top of the board, yeah, we top that line. Steady shot, never off. We top that part, we top that line. It's hard now to lock and load, we top that line. Gillimus. Where on earth are some of these dudes coming from, man? Gillimus. I had to. Thanks for joining, Sibley. Not green. Hey, hey. Pause aggro. And don't let go. Off meta. Then I wreck it. All right. I'm gonna hope this time that this does not bug out like it has before on me. Woohoo! Gonna wreck it. I don't know where the freaking healer is, but I have been having to help him do his job. Mm, mm. Wow. Run it back. Kindergarten, run it back. Kindergarten, Kindergarten, run it back. In touch. You know that much. Yeah, you manage your mind like a promise and a mantra. You gotta run it back. Let's be wavy. Ooh, wasn't sure. Oops, wrong one. Yep, yep, yeah. See, this is where I would have liked the. From line, shot, make it mine. Look, look. Blood, hear the storm in the blood. Make the rain burn. Einstein. Queremos take it up, take it up. All right, let's take a gander. Take it up, take it up. Take it up. Let's see, how much currency do we have? 4,310 now. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to grab me a bite to eat. All right, we are back. Got me some chicken and rice. All right, let's see. Let's see. I am looking for a turn down. I'm back for more. Mhm. Oops. All right, there we go. Let's go over to there it is. All right.
That we've announced and we've been talking about.
Do you remember when Blizzard announced this?
The big feature for Wrath of the Lich King that we've announced and we've been talking about to improve on the role-playing part of the game is definitely the dance system.
Yeah, well, me neither, but they put it on the freaking Wrath of the Lich King box when they put it for sale, and they just never went through with it. And honestly, you and I both know that these custom dances wouldn't have mattered to the game in any way. But that's when it occurred to me. With Classic Plus soon coming up, what other features did Blizzard actually plan for the original game, but just never followed through with? So I did some digging, and it turns out that the game was supposed to be way bigger than what we got at the original release. Some of these are already built into the game, we just never got to see them. But don't worry, because in this video, you will. Now first, I really want to show you something, because up until 6 weeks before the launch of World of Warcraft Classic, there weren't even supposed to be a playable troll race in the game. In fact, the Horde were meant to have something very different. You see, Ogres had been part of the Warcraft series for years, and even though they weren't a playable race in that game, they were actually planned to be the 4th playable race of the Horde. Now close to release, they actually had finished all their animations and given them their unique dance. But just 6 weeks before the official launch date of World of Warcraft, the Blizzard team were actually struggling to animate the characters, specifically the female models. So last minute, they completely decided to scrap the plan, and instead just implement the second most obvious addition to the Horde race that they had already made female models for and animations. The trolls. But between you and I, if you look at what the female trolls back then actually looked like, specifically running as well, I would have loved to see Blizzard's attempt at making Ogre females run.
Right.
Now, it wasn't just Horde who had a different race planned for the original release of the game. You see, according to John Stotts, one of the original game designers of World of Warcraft, the Alliance were actually intended to have playable Pandorans back then. I've really been trying to do some digging and find out why they were scrapped, but there's not an official statement explaining it. But I have an idea why. You see, the same guy had actually shared a ton of stuff of what was originally planned for vanilla. And he said that Burning Crusade was not even supposed to be the first expansion of World of Warcraft. Instead, it was supposed to be pirate themed. Did you ever wonder why Blizzard plotted these 2 islands onto the map in vanilla, only to remove them in a later map update? You see, it's most likely that Blizzard was setting up the story and the narrative for us to be able to go sail the South Seas of Azeroth. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this in regards to why they scrapped Pandorans as a playable race is because that they originated from the Wandering Isles of the South Sea, which would give Blizzard a perfect setup for us to go explore the South Seas and the Wandering Isles. Oh, by the way, the Nagas, they were also supposed to be a playable race, giving it an even better setup for us to go explore the seas in this pirate-themed expansion. It's pretty cool to think about, right? Now, the reason for why they didn't go through with Nagas as a playable race is the same as with Ogres. They had trouble animating the characters and just making their bodies fit with the armor that they made for the game. But now it's 2026 and Blizzard has already proved that they know how to fix this as they released Dragthyr with Dragonflight. So there's not really any more excuses as to why they
Okay, kind of. And what I mean by that is, man, they slither around, so it's a little different. But I mean, I guess we have diaper now.
shouldn't make these races playable for Classic Plus. Now, no matter what available races we have for Classic Plus, one of the things that I think will be some of the most impactful changes to the game are in regards to classes. And that's why I want to show you something really cool I found. Now imagine a mage combined with a warrior, combined with a shaman, combined with a death knight, combined with a demon hunter. Alright, I know it's kind of hard to, if not impossible, but just hear me out for a second. Because very early on in the development of World of Warcraft, Blizzard was actually intending on finishing a class that was called the Rune Master. Now, this wasn't just an ordinary class, and I know that you're still probably having trouble imagining what I just gave you, like 5 different classes. So picture this instead. You enhance both your weapons and your abilities with rune effects, just like shamans do with weapon enhancements and death knights do with rune forging. They would primarily cast spells from the arcane school, and if a huge pack of mobs would gather, you could cast a leyline rune on the ground that would explode after a second or two. Yep, just like a demon hunter. But ultimately, Blizzard scrapped this idea, and I wish I could tell you why, but nobody really knows. All we know is that they have taken throughout the years many of the intended spells and abilities from the Rune Master and just divided it onto the different classes we now have. Which to me shows us that Blizzard has to some extent always been utilizing old concepts and creative ideas. And if that's the case, then Blizzard got a lot of stuff that I want to show you up next that they already got prepared for us. You see, Altric Valley wasn't the only battleground that was intended for vanilla. In fact, 2 more huge battlegrounds were planned, and not only that, they were actually finished in design. Now, the first one I want to show you is Kaladar. The battleground contained a human barracks and an orcish stronghold on each side, with other neutral buildings spread throughout the area, such as 2 moonwells. We don't see exactly where this would be placed in World of Warcraft, but seeing as Kalandor was the Night Elves continent and we got moonwells there, we can only assume that it would be placed in Kalimdor. Now, no matter the location, it's not as important as this next bit I'm gonna tell you, because as I said, it wasn't just an ordinary battleground. You see, the map was split into 3 different lanes, and it reminds us a lot of what the MOBA-style games look like. I'm talking League of Legends and Dota. And of course, this is not just by chance, because Dota was actually invented from a Warcraft player in Warcraft 3. Can you imagine a huge 40 versus 40 battleground where people are pushing each other's lanes? It actually sounds like a lot of fun, but if you're having trouble imagining it, I can actually help you, because Blizzard did try this format when they released Isle of Conquest back in Wrath of the Lich King. It turns out it's kind of hard to balance a MOBA style game within an MMO with 80 people fighting. Now, the second one we can only assume is located in the northern parts of Kalimdor, as it's called Ashera Crater. It's fully designed and looks like it's ready to release, but for some reason they just never went through with it. Since we know it's supposed to be placed in Ashera, and Blizzard back then did faction hubs and vendors at these battleground locations, it would be really cool in Classic Plus to see Ashera be meant for something more, because I think it was sort of wasted potential back then. Now we're closing in on my favorite topic of what COD content is out there that Blizzard could utilize for Classic Plus. Because if we look at the vanilla world map, there are so many hidden gems and secrets that we just never got to see. You see, back in the days when Blizzard were actively promoting the game before it had released, they were showing maps of the different zones in the world. And in one of these specific images that they showed, we see an endgame area that we really never got. The Dragon Isles were a huge area that were supposed to kind of host temples of the old gods. Now, one really interesting thing I found out when looking through Wowpedia is that in the Warcraft 2 manual, it was actually described how the dragons were native to the untamed Northlands of Azeroth, which is perfectly fitting where this zone was supposed to be. But there's actually something way bigger hidden in just plain sight. Did you actually pay attention to the map I just showed you? I'll show it one more time, because if you look closely, it states that the zone is intended for levels 65 through 70. But the level cap in World of Warcraft Classic was 60. Why did Blizzard just make their own game 10 levels shorter? We don't know why Blizzard backtracked on this, but I've been doing a ton of research, and I finally have a theory that doesn't just show why they would do this, but also what this could mean for Classic Plus. before we talk about that, we still need to talk about Dragon Isles, because we're not done yet. You see, the Dragon Isles were actually meant for something much more than just leveling. It was actually supposed to host an entire in-game raid, as you also can see stated on the same map. Now, what enemies and characters this raid would be centered around, we can only guess. But I have an idea. Because you see, Chris Metzen, essentially the writer of most of the lore in World of Warcraft. He states that back then, at the making of World of Warcraft, it was actually kind of difficult to center an entire zone around the dragons, because there were only really one evil dragonkin, which was the Black Dragonflight. Now this tells me that this raid would most likely be about something else. Now looking back at the old game files of the map, it features an absurdly oversized squid-like structure, which would be obvious to use for the raid. Once you enter it, you even have rooms and hallways. Now, seeing as this is a squid, and we know now that the originally intended first expansion was to be pirate themed, we could assume that it could be a nautical themed raid. And obviously, as also the Naga race was supposed to be featured in the game, maybe what they had planned was leading more into the Lady Bash story. Now, nothing's for certain, but Blizzard must know what it was supposed to be for. The Scarlet Raid and the Kerosene Crypts was not something that they came up with in 2022. Instead, it had been explored by us, the players, like 15 years ago in old game files and just exploiting through the map. But what we didn't know back then, and are starting to find out now, is that there is way more content that we never got to see. Now, this is where I want you to pay really close attention. Because here's my theory on why that Blizzard decided to make the level cap 60 instead of the originally planned 70. You see, while I was making this video, I wasn't necessarily struggling on finding something to show you. Rather, my biggest struggle was finding out what to show you first, because there is so much cut content that's potential for Classic Plus that it won't just fit into one video. You see, there are multiple zones that would make up for whole leveling paths, with dozens of quests that never saw the light of day. Even Ironforge was supposed to be 3 times its size. And if you don't believe me, just check out this footage showing the alpha version of Ironforge. But it was unfortunately cut because they were afraid that players would get lost. Same goes for huge areas that were later introduced in expansions. Do you remember Grim Patrol? It's one of the most lore-heavy areas from Warcraft. There were made space for it on the map, but we just never got to see it. Instead, for Cataclysm, Blizzard just released this as another dungeon in the dungeon pool. Even Oldham, the zone we got in Cataclysm as well, it had a huge wall with guarding elite mobs back in Classic, indicating that it was supposed for something else than just for when the world would be destroyed by Deathwing. Now get this, not only was the first expansion supposed to be pirate themed, but the areas we got with the Burning Crusade instead, they were actually supposed to be part of vanilla. You see, Blizzard were already making Outland zones back in vanilla, which means that they were originally planned more continents for the game. You probably already heard or seen the Emerald Dream. I know I'm not talking about the version we got with the retail Dragonflight expansion. It's literally a zone that also was found within the old game files that had been completely fleshed out. They made it so big that this could easily be an expansion for Classic Plus. And if you cut all of that content, surely 70 levels becomes 60 instead. You see, what we got back in Classic could maybe be considered just 50% of what we actually got. From expansions exploring the South Seas to the Emerald Dream. It is literally the easiest task for Blizzard at this point to reiterate what World of Warcraft was supposed to be. And if they finally decided to do so, it would mean that we would be getting a ton of new features and content, but with the same magical feeling of the old original game. And not just for a classic version that would be hyped for maybe half a year, but instead for a version of the game that we would maybe play for years to come. If you like this video, I have another one right here that I think you should check out. Thank you for watching. I'm Rick, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay. That's a pretty good video. Let's get back over to... There we go. All right. And let's try to get some more levels in. This is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. The moon. John Clark Tate Luke. John Clark Tate Luke. Made a screw. Gillis, oh, met a shaman tank. Not what they know. Back to you. Built to last. Gillis, the oh, met a shaman tank. Boom, 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 boom. Got another back. And my money is your mana. Like a promise and a mantra. Oh, squad soul. Kindergarten, run it back. Kindergarten, lucky, There's last big white. This lays on grid and type. Run it back. That is late. Huh? Crowd hush. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta jump. That crowd hush. You can't out. Lola on patrol. Lola on patrol. Lock the whole town down. Ooh, I took a really. It's a shower with this song. Girl, wow. I've seen style. I ain't wanna say my name. Down and low. When those old winds blow. I don't run out, let the whole world know. Mud Mafia, yeah. Mud Mafia, yeah. Get the mud on the line, Mud Mafia, yeah. Oh no. It's like this. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Run out, let the whole world know. Mud Mafia, yeah. Mud Mafia, yeah. Yeah, this will probably be the last one for the night. I'm gonna get my behind two bedsies. Ooh, long day at work. Long, long day. Okay. Oh, these people. Blood, healed up, show me the blood. Thank it. It's hoping to get over there. Queremos take it up, take it up, take it up, that. Queremos take it up, take it up, take it up, world. Hit that, hold it down. Oh yeah, I forget that. Dang it. How on earth did we kill him like that? That's weird. Shaman tag. Muzala. Can I get over there now? Is that what that means? Sure does. Or shaman tag. That's me. Yep, yep. You have a lot of really cool abilities. Like, I love almost everything on this tree. Crazy. All right. No bites. No mistake. All right, I am going to go ahead and hop off. So I just want to thank everybody for coming in and all that goodness. And I will catch you guys next time.